Greetings and salutations, everybody. We are back with more Feng Shui. Huzzah!
Hooray!
Hooray.
Well, when we last left off, you guys went in to investigate basically a rest stop having been absolutely flattened and destroyed, and found that it looks like it had been flattened and destroyed by a bunch of apparently rogue terracotta warriors that seemed to be self-repairing.
Yeah, it's very annoying.
They would not stay down.
Like, I hit them really hard.
You did?
And got back up.
Yep.
I turned him to dust.
You did?
And he got back up. That was just not fair.
Yeah, it turned out that it was going to be a case of, well, they can't hurt us. They don't seem to be hurting us very much quickly. But if we stay here long enough, they will eventually wear us down.
Except for
It's really easy, but my arm's going to get tired eventually.
Zhao and Wulan who got crap kicked out of us.
True.
It eventually got to a point where they started exploding because if you roll dice long enough, then eventually you get really good results.
Yeah.
See, now I'm just thinking of someone trying to throw the joke out, like, I walked here all the way from somewhere else, and boy, my arm's tired, just to make like the nonsensical, well, why are your arms tired? You just don't explain. There's no
So yes, the one thing you remembered is that the legends about the terracotta warriors being able to move around and do stuff all seem to be tied that they were sort of under the direct control of the emperor. And this does not seem like behavior. This does not seem like behavior the emperor would particularly condone. Like,
Yeah,
no matter what problems you have with the emperor, and there are reasons to have problems with the emperor.
Yeah.
This seems counterproductive.
I think we have the hypothesis that these were made for the previous dynasty.
Yes.
And they're all dead now and kind of have a grudge against the current one.
That's entirely possible.
Right. That's why they attacked. Why they attacked Zhao was because he presented documents of authority.
They did seem to not like Zhao very much. No.
Yeah. Here's my ID. ID knocked out of hand, punched.
So the best plan you came up with is that since you were headed to the Oracle anyways, maybe the Oracle can help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were already en route there to,
I mean,
basically get wisdom in the first place for respective things.
I mean, there's an Oracle. You can go talk to them anyways. So what the heck? Why not?
Like, that was already our goal in the first
It was.
place. So
Yes. No. It ties up nicely.
funny that.
All right. So therefore, you resume your journey. It'll take you another few days to get to the Oracle. On the plus side, really not a whole lot more happens en route. Well, the last sort of the last sort of rest stop that is along the route that you're taking that will take you to the Oracle, is the first one you've come to where it is not it's not empty. There are other people there. There is in fact a caravan, a merchant caravan there.
neat.
Yep. So there's a small group of warriors who seem to be escorting the caravan to prevent bandits from trying to seize it. They all seem like at least competent sort of I hesitate to use the word mercenary, but
Yeah.
they do they do military work for money. They're not the official military, but they're caravan guards basically.
Security. They're
Security.
movement.
That's the word I'm looking for. I don't know
Rent
why
a
I couldn't
car.
fucking think of it.
They're
Oh
rent a
God, they're Pinkertons.
No, they're not. On the plus side, there are no unions to bust here, so
Well, also,
I wouldn't
to be
call that
fair,
a plus side, but
I'll also call the Pinkertons just mercenaries with a different label.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, Eric.
There's nothing secure about them.
No, No, these guys are legitimately just, they're security. They're caravan guards. They're
They're rented cops.
cops is the wrong word.
Or muscle.
Yeah. I mean, you
Rent
could
a mook.
rent it. That is accurate, Eric. Actually, yes.
They're not of the ultimate variety though. Got it.
Right.
They are the mobile equivalent of bouncers.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me get one thing
I mean,
open.
99% of a bouncer's job is to stand there and look scary. So
Yep. Nope. Yep.
They're freelance honor guards.
I mean, that's good.
I just like the idea of now it's just about to be like, listen, I've been conscripted into this role to defend the honor of this fine establishment.
So I will not allow you into Hardee's.
You'll
So
need
that's-
to try your luck with the Denny's down there beyond.
And
So
should you
that's-
encounter my brother there.
So that's like the second best like freelance, X silly thing that I've ever heard. The best one I've ever heard was freelance astronauts back from the old
Yeah.
Something Awful days.
Funny group.
Right. Salmon Max, freelance police.
So I am going to see that there is a trading caravan here, and I'm going to decide that is exactly the type of people that we want to warn against the Terracotta Warriors, and I am going to just start approaching them.
Okay.
Zhao's probably gonna go with her.
Yeah, you're unobtrusive enough. I mean, honestly, look at Batu.
Aw.
I mean, I will say this: when you arrive, Batu does get a bunch of sort of apprehensive looks. I mean, Batu is like a 7.5, like as a giant of a Mongol.
Yeah.
However, I will say that given that you are in the presence of an Imperial investigator, they are willing to assume that you are not here to murder them. So,
For the record, being spotted by security is not something that is usually in Yuri's handbook. So she is keeping out of sight. In her
sure,
usual way.
you are out of sight. You don't have to roll. You are good enough that to keep out of sight in this situation if you want to.
Mhm.
Or you could even just sort of be there but not noticed. Like,
Yeah.
If
Like-
there's a tree, she's in a tree.
fair enough. That is totally reasonable. But yes, there's apprehensive looks, but they realize that, well, okay, I guess he's been hired to bodyguard this this Imperial guy. Okay. That is something that could happen, I guess. He's not currently trying to raid our caravan and take stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm approaching with weapons drawn,
Right.
screaming, "Give me your shit."
Right, exactly.
They're just like, how'd you get past the wall?
That's Batu's way of saying hello.
Yeah. Listen, amongst my inner circle, we communicate with violence. The harder we hit, it's more emphatic. We mean that. More emphatically, we say we come in peace. It's like trolls in Discworld.
All right.
Peace.
So yeah,
We
Nick,
come.
so who are you approaching? Who are you approaching to talk to?
I'm just going to I guess anyone who's like
So do you want to talk to the guards, or do you want to try talking to the merchant?
well, let's see. This is kind of a scary matter, but I would want to approach the merchant because
Okay.
that's more my speed.
That is absolutely fair. Give me 1 second. Yeah, sure, with that name. All right. I'm just jotting down a name that I didn't have written down. All right, so you approach the merchant. He is about average height, a bit rotund, wearing nice but utilitarian traveling clothes. That it very indicates that he is a fairly successful merchant. Like his gear, his clothing and gear seems to be well made in good condition. but very clearly it's been chosen for practical reasons. Also, he's not wearing like super fancy stuff.
Okay. Got it.
Like he's like a lot of the really successful merchants who actually know their shit that you've met before at your
Right.
father's smithy. Like, he's clearly a guy who travels, and he knows how to travel and be successful at doing that. And I said, how can I help you, ma'am?
Greetings, sir. We have just been from further up the hill, where we encountered a caravan much like your own that had been completely ransacked, completely
Oh, dear.
obliterated, destroyed. There is great danger in this area.
She kind of like rolls her shoulder.
We tried to help get rid of the things that were responsible, and it didn't go well. So if you're planning on traveling through here, you might want to consider a detour.
Well, we are heading further north. We're actually heading up towards a sanctuary where it's a sort of almost like a monastery, but not exact. There are no monks there. There's a woman there who is purported to be an oracle, but we're there to deliver supplies and such.
Oh, that's where we're headed. Okay.
Ah,
All right. Good. Good.
so what was it? Bandits or something?
Not exactly.
Oh, rogue soldiers maybe.
In a fashion, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very rogue. Yes.
I see. Deserters. Nasty. Dangerous too.
Actually,
Exceptionally dangerous.
Kind of the
yes.
opposite of deserters. But anyway.
They were certainly heartless, though.
Hey.
I mean, yeah.
You could say they were stone cold.
But
I was gonna say they were nobody.
Who did this to you? Nobody.
Not the joke I'm going for, but I'll take it.
you might
I
even
see.
say they're a bit cracked in the head.
Hey. Well. I'm glad you tried. Even if you were not successful, I'm glad someone tried to deal with such. Very unfortunate. So I am terribly sorry. I did not introduce myself. I am Longbao. I am a traveling merchant. These are my security. They've done a wonderful job on the trip so far.
Hello, security.
They wave.
My name.
Hello.
I am Molan. These
Ah.
are my traveling companions, Mr. Zhao, and that's Batsu, and that's Dao Lu,
Hi.
and that's. Well, Miss Yuri was here, but she's not here right now. Sometimes she gets shy, so. But
Is that
maybe
what
she'll
we're
show up
going with?
later.
I see. Well, it is always good to have company at a rest stop. He just sort of look up at Batu, blinks a few times. Huh. Your people are from outside the wall, correct?
Yeah.
Ah. Interesting. Anyways,
Yeah. I mean, not really. I mean, it sounds mystical when you go up, when you hear about it down here, but like once you get there, it's mostly just flat, lots of horses.
I would imagine so. I've heard that from people who are stationed out by the wall. I've not traveled there myself. Interesting. Yes. Well, we've got the fire going. We've got some. We were about to start cooking food. You're welcome to join us.
Ooh. Oh, thank you.
Yes. So-
I will sit down and like start helping out with food.
I'll say, I'm pretty sure Delu's already in the kitchen working it.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just get the odd jobs roll.
Sure, why
out
not?
there.
You lose line of sight, and Dao Lu is like already had a costume
Oh,
change.
there we go. There we go. Here's
3.
our trick. We're gonna poison everyone in this area here.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
You present like a T-bone steak, and it's like we were making spaghetti.
This is me absorbing a bad roll for Yuri just in case she has to attack during a fight later on.
All right, Skitch.
Yes.
You find that you have actually misplaced some of your cooking utensils.
They're stolen. Got it.
Entirely possible. Clearly, that's what happened. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Listen. Okay.
So
I don't know about you, but like, listen. I'm not sure about all of you. This shovel, I say, for 100% certain, is absolutely food grade. All right.
I mean, I've eaten off of worse, so sure.
I mean, imagine both you and Batu have, Eric.
Yeah. that is a true statement for both of us.
But yeah, so Dalu does as good a job as he can improvising with what he has available at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Clearly, someone nicked your good walk.
I just like that. I like the one day where Dalu rolls up way awful on this, and it's just like someone just dies off camera. The perfect crime.
You make something with fish, and the fishbone gets stuck in Batu's throat.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing lethal, but something absolutely infuriating.
Mm-hmm.
At any rate, but overall, while the food is not as good as it usually is, it is also not an abject disaster. You didn't weigh awful, so it's merely not like as not high quality.
Yeah.
Your base skill is good enough that you can't, unless you weigh awful, you're not gonna fail.
I have to roll like 3 6s.
Yeah, like you weigh awful. That you open explode. Your negative die exploded twice. Like
Yeah, that was negative. That was a negative 16.
Yeah. And you only rolled okay on you rolled decently on your positive die, but
I didn't boxcar at least. I guess that
is true. Hence, you didn't weigh awful. Anyways, yes.
Yes.
Anyways, you all sort of sit down. You have food. The mercs, the guards seem to be decent folk. They've you get the impression from them that they've been working for I forgot his name all of a sudden. Longbao for several years actually. They've had pretty steady employment with him. They're not like mercenaries is absolutely the wrong word because they are not free. They are not freelance. They're full on employees at this point.
I had a terrible idea for a pun in my head. I'll hold it for later, though.
Fair enough.
At some point when no one's looking, there's just going to be like a small string with a hook on the end that's just going to like steal a piece of meat off of someone's plate and just haul it up into a tree.
One of the guards looks down and goes, where did my chicken go? Yeah. At some point, also says, hey, where did my bow go? Where did my steam bun go?
Secret ninja art, 5 fingers food discount.
So you are traveling up to you said you are traveling up to the Oracle's sanctuary. Any particular reason beyond or just going to admire the not sure what would actually be in season there. Insert some seasonal flowering stuff that would grow in this part of China. I actually don't know what would be appropriate. If you were in Japan, I'd say cherry blossoms, but I'm not positive that's really a thing in China at this stage.
Dandelions. We're gonna go see the dandelions.
Peach blossoms.
Sure, peach blossoms. Why not? I don't know. We'll say cherry blossoms as a stand-in. If that's absolutely wrong, I apologize. Someone can correct me later.
Tulips. We're gonna go see the tulips.
Yes, tulips. That's definitely a thing.
It's the local. It's the fault of the localizers. They're doing their best. They're not very good at it.
Yeah, that is the localization for it is tulips.
It's 70s era dubbing. We're sorry.
Hell, it might be cherry blossoms. They dubbed it as, honestly.
True.
China, Japan, same thing. No, not same thing.
Oh,
Neither of them would like you to say that.
oh yeah.
Very upset.
The only way is to get worse is you to compare Korea and Japan.
Oh yeah.
Don't do that. No.
Yeah.
At any rate, so yes, yeah. So you're going to go see the cherry blossoms then?
Zhao is drinking, his tea. And he puts it down. So actually, we are going to ask a question of the the oracle. I was going to say something else. I actually remember the word. Yes, we have a personal matter, but we also wish to see if she can determine who is behind the current banditry. I mean, we know what is behind it, but not who.
Interesting. Well, I wish you luck with that.
Do you often make these trips up?
Oh, I bring supplies to the sanctuary at least once a year.
So it's only a yearly trip, I suppose. It just seems such a long way to go for a small thing.
Well, we bring supplies that the sanctuary doesn't. They don't have a good place to grow high quality rice. So it's one of the things we bring in is a good supply of rice. That will last lasting for quite a while.
Mountains notoriously good for growing rice.
All that wide open space, obviously. Yeah.
And there's other things that they can't grow as much food there as they would like, given that they're up on a mountain. So we bring them food supplies and some other stuff that they can't get in as easily.
Zhao gives another like, that is very honorable of you to handle such an important task for this.
Yes, well, it also doesn't pay badly, so it's a win-win. They get the supplies they need, and I have a reliable trading partner. It's quite nice. And Shilin is she's a very 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 good customer. Shaylin, yes, she is the she is the oracle. I've never consulted with her, so I cannot speak to the accuracy of her divinations. But I've heard no complaints, so I wouldn't know.
Really, not once after all these years.
No. I would rather trade on my knowledge gleaned from years of work than and also I would not want to, I enjoy my job, and I don't see the need to consult with an oracle over anything currently.
I am going to do a little bit of. I'm going to essentially ask for insight, but I wanted to roll it as info merchant trading.
Sure.
Because maybe I've heard of Longbow as a trader.
Sure,
so,
absolutely.
So I'm gonna just hit that. And
that's an 8.
That is a below average roll for me.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
The name's not familiar. That's super familiar. It's a name that maybe I have heard the name at some point, but you can't put your finger on it.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh well.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think Zhao has any skills that give any more insight into that. I think if she had dealings with the Imperial court, she wouldn't live out in the middle of nowhere and be getting supplies from a regular merchant.
Unless she's actively choosing not to interact with the Imperial Court. Which is
Yeah,
possible.
yeah, totally possible. Just the Emperor keeps
Yeah,
trying to get her to answer questions, and she's like, "No, go away."
I've got nothing applicable here, unfortunately.
That seems unlikely. Yeah, that definitely seems like you probably wouldn't, Eric.
I'm just sitting here and enjoying dumplings and chicken.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Steamed buns and chicken. Yes. And rice.
Would any smuggling
rice
routes
goes
happen to
everything.
go along this path? Perhaps there's like some involvement there.
You could give me a roll if you'd like.
Mhm.
13.
13.
There's like this particular sort of rest stop. There's some smuggling routes that pass through here, but there really aren't any that run up to the sanctuary the Oracle lives. It really doesn't need to be, sort of.
Right.
Like smugglers generally would like there is an actual mountain to go up, so like not really sort of a place smugglers would really like. Yes, it's out of the way, and it has the advantage of being out of the way. It also has a disadvantage of smuggling up a mountain seems like not the best thing unless you're delivering there.
Right. But the Oracle or, someone working for the Oracle could just come down here and pick something up if desired.
I mean, it's a trip, but like you're gonna be traveling you're near the mountain actually at this point. You're sort of almost not quite at the foot, but like near the foot of the mountain. You're gonna be traveling most of the day and a part of the evening tomorrow to get up to the sanctuary. Because you're going up an actual mountain, not a big mountain, but a mountain. It'll be an all-day hike uphill. On the plus side, given that the merchant does have a wagon that it's being a pulled wagon, it means that the path is probably reasonably wide.
Yeah.
So
and moderately smooth.
At least yes.
There's a wagon, so we're not bringing that over any like broken terrain.
Yep. Hooray! That is encouraging, honestly. And the path might not even be that steep. It may be long and winding, however.
No such promptness for the Master of the Goat style, unfortunately.
True. But I'm sure Batu appreciates it.
Yeah. I'm used to everything being flat.
Yeah. Why is this constantly uphill? Why would you do this?
Mountains are stupid. Who
Why?
invented them? They should be shot.
That's actually a good question. Is it like nightfall? Like, can we actually see the mountain?
Oh yeah, you can see the mountain from where you are. You can you can see it's dark enough now that you can sort of see at the top of the mountain. Up near the top of the mountain, you can sort of see glimmers from what is probably the sanctuary up at the top, up near the top.
I see.
Like the lights they've got, of sorts.
So the question's actually more: is there like a lot of snow on the mountain?
It's not that tall.
I was gonna say because, I was thinking more along the line. Okay, if something bad goes on, maybe don't bring out the firework launcher on the mountain, where an avalanche could happen.
No, it is not that. It is not that big a mountain.
Yeah, if it's not that big of a mountain, okay, don't worry about it.
No. If it's that big a mountain, it would not take you a day to get to the top. Especially not with a caravan.
Uh-huh.
Are there any other questions you'd like to ask Long Bao or anything like that? Or anything you'd like to talk about?
I think I'm probably just going to make small talk with the guards about
Okay.
about stuff and their jobs and
Sure. They seem a little... I'm trying to think of the right word for this. A little hesitant at first. But...
I'm a personable guy.
You actually are fairly personable. And, again, like, it's really clear you're not here to to do anything untoward. And
Right.
like they don't, it's not like they're displaying any trade secrets or anything like that.
Yeah.
They're caravan guards.
Yeah, we're basically just trading like stories and shit.
Yeah, they will happily chat with you about. Oh yeah, God, about 4 months ago we were escorting Master Master Bao through the over to insert town name here, and
Right.
yeah, these lunatic bandits decided to attack us. Like they were like a large group, it was maybe a half dozen guys, and they, man, like I feel bad for some of these bandits. They're very clearly, they're very clearly people who are just on hard times,
Yeah, it's kind of the sad thing about a lot of bandits.
and like.
You know,
And they really didn't know their ass from their face when it came to handling a weapon, man. Like
it's always a shame to see that.
yeah, these guys really should have been back on the farm. Like, yeah, honestly, they've been better off using farm implements to attack us with. Like I'm pretty sure they were all farmers that just had a bad spell.
Dude, a good sharp rake is scary.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like,
Or a hoe.
oh man, yeah. Or a shovel. You grind the edge of a shovel good and sharp.
Ooh, that's
nasty.
yeah. So we
Got one of those right here a few years back.
ooh, yeah. So yeah, honestly we felt kind of bad for these guys, and managed to take them down without actually killing any of them.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Good
so
on you guys.
like they really
That's actually hard, especially with a dedicated guy who has no idea what he's doing.
yeah, no kidding. So yeah, we took him down and tied him up. Master Bao gave him a long talking to. And we brought them. We just sort of tied them up, brought them to the caravan. And I last I heard, I have to check with Master Bao, but like he basically just employed them on one of his farms.
Oh, that's nice of him. He sounds like a good guy.
Oh yeah. He's got a couple of rice, a couple of farms that he does to do the produce that he tends to sell around. He mostly sells produce and such stuff that travels well, right?
Right, yeah.
And he can always use a couple extra hands on one of the farms. So like it's not I mean, it's not the best work, but like given the situation they were in.
I mean, they probably got like kicked off by their lord, or like had a bad harvest, or something
like that. They weren't really willing to talk about it, but like you could tell, like
yeah. I mean, there's a difference between like the well-fed guys that like make a profession out of it.
Yeah.
And
Oh God.
desperate poor guys.
Yeah. We've dealt with some of those guys before, and they're tough, but man, like. I'd rather deal with them than guys like that. Like,
yeah, well, you don't feel so bad about
exactly.
smashing their skull in.
Yeah, right, exactly. Also, someone who knows what they're doing with a weapon, like you can kind of predict what they're gonna do.
Right.
Like they're not the sort of idiot who's gonna throw their sword at you.
I tell you though, man. I did have one guy do that to me.
Yeah.
And then I picked him up and threw him at his friend. No one expected that.
I believe it. I mean, looking at you, maybe they should have, but that must have been a sight, man. Oh man.
Lon's just sitting nearby, being like,
You shouldn't use a rake as a weapon. It's not what it's made for. It'll break. Mine.
It breaks if you use it improperly as a weapon.
You break them all the time.
Oh, speaking of throwing guys into other guys, so we are this group of us, we're going through these woods, and we like ran into this temple, and it was infested with demons. So, right thing to do is to run away, but like we didn't, because come on.
Okay.
There's a secret temple. There's going to be stuff in there.
I see.
Joe was just kind of like sipping his teas, like they're not gonna believe a word of this. Demons, what?
and two of them, they were the leaders. Like one was just like this tiger guy, and he was like really good, strong kung fu, and another guy in like long robes. He had like thunder powers,
Yeah.
and like so I square off against the tiger guy, and the others like fight the the lightning guy, and they couldn't hurt the lightning guy. Like he was just made of wind. But
Oh. I see.
but I figured out that if I picked up the tiger guy and used him to beat the hell out of the thunder guy, that would work.
I see.
There's just a guy in the background. How many drinks has he had?
Yeah.
So yeah, I threw the tiger guy at the thunder guy, and it worked great. And then everyone else ganged up on the tiger guy, and we beat the hell out of him.
I see. Interesting.
So while everyone is, all being, a marvelous distraction about all kinds of stuff,
You're
I
stealing all the
imagine there's,
saffron.
there's a manifest or a ledger that could be looked at around
Sure,
here.
absolutely. Give me an intrusion roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like, I was gonna say, Yuri's not really an introvert; she's more of an intrusion-vert. in
Yes.
this case.
And
That's not the joke I was thinking of earlier, by the way.
it's a good one. I like it. Yeah, you were able to locate the manifest. It is, you go through it, and his log. It looks like, according to what he's got written down there, it's rice, some couple of it's a large quantity of rice. Unsurprised. Bunch of other sort of farm foods that travel and store well. So rice flour, several jugs of rice wine, a couple of smaller jugs of plum wine. Mostly just sort of foodstuffs and drinks and such.
Right. So they're on the level.
Oh yeah, he is. It's very clearly this guy is actually on the bow is on the level. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. That's basically all I wanted to check.
Yeah, that was kind of my take when hearing that the guards just tell this off the cuff story. I'm like, okay, this is just way too off the cuff to be rehearsed. So they're probably on the line.
I mean, like, if they did have like a sneaker cargo, I'd be interested in checking that out. But
if you can poke around a bit. This guy seems to be just like on the level.
Yeah, if they're just hauling foodstuffs, then all right, sure, whatever. Like that's below my level of interest. So back to the
Fair.
tree.
Back to the tree.
I like how I have that character who is the quote unquote loner that doesn't interact with other things, but I actually have a reason for it.
Sure. All right. Yeah. So I will say this: it is not entirely clear whether the guards believe some of Batu's stories or not, but they are enjoying them at least, and they see absolutely no reason to cast aspersion on it because everyone tells like there are lots of stories about supernatural stuff, and who knows how true some of them are.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone knows at least knows somebody who's seen something, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Batu's like, the one time I fought a fish that was this big.
And it's like, and he's at worst, he's telling the story well, so who cares?
Mm-hmm.
In this situation, it's fine.
Incidentally, between activities, Yuri is basically just studying the tome.
Sure. Fair enough. And so Longbow says over to Zhao, he's like, you have a very colorful group that you seem to be traveling with.
That's simply how it happens sometimes.
Oh, indeed.
The life of the Imperial Spectre, you find interesting people.
I would imagine. It would seem so.
Yeah, he's been drinking his tea. He puts it down. I think it would work best for all of us in the morning if we all travel together, considering what has happened in our travels recently.
Oh well, I would be more than happy to have more traveling companions. Absolutely, it'll make the trip more interesting. At least more people to talk to.
Yes,
And,
let's hope it doesn't turn out to be too interesting.
And while it is unlikely there will be banditry on the mountain to the sanctuary, if something did happen, it would be nice to have more people at hand.
Of course. With that, he puts his cups down. He's like, "I bid you a good evening, and I will get ready. We will be ready to help you in the morning."
Absolutely. Yes, I should probably retire for the evening. Baida, you should set up a watch schedule amongst the guards and such. Of course, if anything needs my attention during the evening, you know where to find me. I wish you all an excellent evening. And Long Bao gets up and heads off to a little tent he set up for himself.
Not a bad idea, actually. I think Zhao will probably be keeping his own, at least first watch during the.
Yes, if you want to work out a watch schedule with the guards, you are more. They are more than happy to do so.
Anybody else interested in this?
I mean, I'm not getting paid, so I'm absolutely just going to crash out.
They have nothing of value to me, so whatever.
Yeah, it's like it's like then it would seem that I will be working alone tonight. Have a good evening, everyone. And then he just kind of goes to coordinate with the guards.
Sure. All right. You coordinate a watch schedule with the guards. The leader of them is Baida, the one that Long mentioned. He's the one. He comes up with a plan with you and is helpful for the extra. Is happy to have an extra set of eyes. And the evening passes, unless there's anything else that anyone wants to do before we wrap up, roll to the next morning. If not, then it's the next morning. Nothing happens over the evening. Hurrah!
Hooray!
It's always good to not, die in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah, you are not ambushed by terracotta warriors in the night.
So annoying. Ninja terracotta warriors.
Oh, they do the worst. Ah, yes.
They can't be. I'm the worst.
I'm the worst ninja.
It could be worse. You could be attacked by 90-foot ninjas.
Those would be terrible ninjas.
You'd think so. But have you
Look,
seen
it only takes one moment for you to not notice them, and you're in trouble.
There's just a mountain, and you just see it like the cover comes off, and it was just like a piece of cloth.
Okay, so this comes from this comes from a Champions campaign I was a player in. Our game master had one of the little adventures involved a bunch of the city being attacked by a bunch of 90-foot ninjas, and his inspiration for this was movies like The Amazing Colossal Man. The giant, because at various parts of the movie he'd be attacking stuff and then would just disappear. How the hell does he disappear like that? He's 50 feet tall. But what if he was a ninja?
Now, you might think that a 90-foot ninja is crazy, but have you ever seen a 90-foot ninja?
Exactly. We were assisted by. Eventually, we were assisted by the 9-inch ninja.
Was Johnny Cash a big fan of him?
Maybe. All right. So, but in the morning, you have not been assaulted by either terracotta warriors or 90-foot ninjas. So,
Okay.
So it is morning, and you set out on your trail up. You set out up the mountain, and at first, it is morning. It is you have a bit of breakfast. You head up the mountain, And the morning, the early morning travel is actually quite pleasant. But as the day progresses, it gets a bit warmer, and the other drawback is you are now going constantly uphill. Zhao seems to be having very little problem with this.
You think?
Zhao, master of the goat style, has no problems. But all of you do. It eventually gets. You're all getting a little bit tired eventually because again, you're walking constantly uphill. That is taxing. I mean, it's not constantly. There are parts where it levels out intentionally for like the path's been levels out because it's been an intentionally designed path. And you eventually get to a part where, as you go along, there's sort of a break in the path, which is sort of like a little sort of mini ravine in the side of the mountain, but there's a bridge that's been put up over it. So you get to cross a well-made but rickety feeling bridge. I will say, this is one of the places, boy, howdy, you'd hate to be ambushed here.
Oh no.
We're about to get ambushed, aren't we?
No, actually, you're getting across fine.
Oh, all right.
The ambush is going to come when we make the return trip.
Oh, of course. The bandits know we're only going up with food. The valuables are on the way down.
As you cross the bridge, you eventually get to a point where it's sort of late to midday, and it's time to have have a meal. So you find a level spot to sort of stop the caravan at, and have a nice sort of quick little meal of travel food and such.
I forget. Is sabotage a skill in Feng too?
Yes.
I think it is.
So, let me look.
Okay.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, I would not be
I asked
surprised,
because
yeah.
I don't have it, and I'm over here just going, ooh, I would like to do a thing here, but I will suck at it, so I won't.
I like to replace my info odd jobs with just info bad job. Therefore, I just try to do something but do it poorly enough that it inadvertently sabotages things.
Alternately, you could go for info odd job, which would just give you a new improvised weapon skill.
Yes, exactly. Then again, I
You can now
believe
throw
I had. No, I mean I could do that already. I mean I don't need that. Because I have odd jobs, I could throw two of them at the same time. Is the point? Anyways,
Yeah, there we go. And you set out again after you have your meal. I will say everyone should actually, while you're eating, everyone give me a notice check.
Fair.
Can I use detective like I usually can?
Yes, you can. Not right now. Give me a notice check first.
Okay, that's why I wanted to ask.
This is sort of a passive sort of thing, not a. Batu notices nothing.
Look at that. I rolled a 3.
You did.
Oh, I'm leading the pack now.
Sketch, could you give me a notice check, please?
sure thing.
Thank you.
Did that get through? Okay, there we go. Yeah. No, it didn't. Oh, there we are.
A 5.
5.
Okay.
There it is.
Leading the pack.
Yep. Olan. You get the strange feeling that something or someone is watching you.
Do you ever get the feeling you were being watched?
Okay.
And you can sort of, it feels like they're watching from somewhere up the mountain in sort of like the sparse trees. But you can't actually see who or what it is.
Does it? Okay. I'll ask you a question, Peter.
Sure.
Leave it up to your judgment on this. Does she get the same feeling as when the insect demon was watching us?
Ooh.
Because she also passed her notice back.
You
then,
are correct.
I
You did.
recall.
Not exactly the same, but it's sort of a similar sort of, unnatural feeling. Yes.
Nice. Okay. All right. In that case, Olan is going to. She's going to kind of stop where she's walking for a little bit, and then kind of
turn her head and then pick up her direction again, and she's going to just kind of like do the signal to Yuri, who is following us, and then she's going to kind of go up and on the caravan, and she's going to kind of like tap each of her party members and the guards.
Hang on, like there was like something like fell or something on someone's part, and I couldn't quite make out
That might have been on my end.
all of what you said.
Yeah, it was on my end. Sorry.
Basically, Lon is going to try and non-verbally signal to you,
Okay.
and also go up and down the caravan and kind of like start tapping people on the shoulder to quietly let them know what direction she feels like we're being watched from.
Okay.
Now might be a good time to do that detective check.
Sure. Now you may give me one. Yes, absolutely.
That's better.
Yep. Nope. You see, you can't spot anything.
Nope.
Yeah, that negative die exploded on you, unfortunately.
Neither you nor Umitomi can notice it. Can spot it, I should say.
Yep. Good.
It's very much one of those
Now-
things. Like, yeah, you both get that sort of similar feeling that you are being watched with those roles, but like, you can't pinpoint where it is or what it is.
Yeah, Zhao is very much like, oh shit.
And as you continue along the path up the mountain, you get to a part where it's a bit rockier and steeper.
So I will say this.
Mhm.
If the idea is we're being watched as we're ascending the mountain, Yuri is basically going to come to the conclusion of, well, there's an oracle up there. It stands to reason we're being watched and can't figure out why, and is not going to be too worried about it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Actually, well, as I'm kind of alerting the guards, do any of them like do all of them tense up, or are any of them
They definitely are like, well, someone noticed something. I mean, we don't know what it is, but we should at least be on a little bit on our guard.
Okay.
Well, they are competent, skilled guards. They're not going to overreact, but they're also not going to
dismiss it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like they're used to coming up this area and feeling like they're being watched all the time.
No.
Which could mean that something new is here, or possibly it could mean that nobody notices the oracle's watching them if it's your guys' theory about that. So, yeah.
But anyways, you get to a bit slightly.
Really got a conclusion.
Yep. You get to a slightly steeper part. And from up ahead, none of you need to make a notice roll for this because it is not quiet. You hear the sound of rock rolling downhill. So up around the corner, basically. Sounds like a bit of a rock slide.
You can't stop the rocket.
And as you round the corner, there is a very, very large rock blocking the path. With a lot of smaller rocks. There's clearly been a rock slide and a large, sort of almost boulder size, a bit of a boulder has landed in the path and has stopped.
So Yuri's response to this is to do, ninja BS to get to an upper level where it probably came from.
Sure.
And investigate if this is an act of sabotage.
Sure. You can give me a detective roll for that, actually. So I believe you
I'm
have
going
that.
to throw a fortune on this.
Absolutely. Go for it.
18.
Goddamn. 18. Okay. 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 You investigate for a good long while and find no traces that this was intentional. Until the only thing that would indicate that could possibly until you actually think about sort of looking at it through your new sort of sorceress talents.
Ah, yes, my ability to actually read chi in the area.
Yes.
because I have.
And there's there definitely
fertility.
seems to be a very, very faint magic like aura of some sort of magical force applied to sort of the bits of rock in the area you're at. Your footing here is not. It very clearly like it looks like something magical caused the rock to fall down.
Right.
But it's very subtle. Yeah, you needed to roll a 15 or better to get that.
There's a reason why I wanted to fortune.
You know, yep, it was a good choice.
Well, Batu is sort of like, well, this is obviously a trap, but I've got to move that thing anyway, so I'm going to go move it.
Okay.
I'm going to go and try to move the...
Batu, I'm not going to make you roll strength. You your strength is high enough that you're just going to and move the boulder out of the way.
Yep.
Batu is strong. Batu has strength 12. No, that thing is he just moves it.
Yeah. It is
While Batu's making the display of that, Yuri is going to zip down to the other 3 of the crew. And I'm going to like just maintain like the idea that like the caravan still doesn't know she exists.
Sure.
And is just going to mention her findings. This
Okay.
rock slide was not natural. It was also performed by one skilled with sorceries. I don't know quite the nature of it, but this was not physically set into motion either. Someone does not want someone reaching the top of this mountain.
So Batu's are basically already in the middle of moving the rock out of the
Yes.
way.
Mhm.
So let's see. Lon's going to, I guess, look around, up and around, and then she's going to also like look down the path we're coming up on.
Okay.
Because it feels like, I mean, if you block a road like this, it is to, give people nowhere to run. If you want to, if you were planning to ambush them,
Sure.
If this is just meant to slow us down and not get us anywhere, then okay. But if this is like a trap, like Batu says, then the other thing you would want to do would be to stop you from going the other way.
Right.
So, I'm going to like start observing the area behind us, I guess.
Sure.
I guess I'll roll a notice.
Sure, give me that. That's fine. That'll work.
Okay.
A 5.
That's not so good.
No, it's not.
Oh,
but
wow.
all right. All right, you have to travel a fair bit away from the group to notice anything. But as you get a bit further away, and you're sort of there's less noise, like there's less sound of rock being shoved aside by a large man, and people talking. You hear a bit of off in the distance. You hear what sounds like wood slamming into rock.
Oh no, it's the bridge.
What? No, yes. It sounds like someone might have cut the bridge.
All right, got it.
That's an impressive trick for the Oracle to do. I'm not sure why they would have come down the mountain just to cut the bridge for us.
Oh yeah. Well, they don't want
All
you to
right,
leave.
Fair enough. I mean, I wouldn't want me to leave either. So,
I'm gonna hustle back to the caravan then, and I'm going to say, someone just took the bridge out.
The guards are like have this look of oh no. The guards have this look of oh boy, this is not good. On the plus side, as you come to say that, Batu finally gets the boulder off the road.
Was that about bridges?
Someone just chopped it down. I think.
No.
Well,
them's the brakes.
We could try.
I don't think I can throw the whole cart across the bridge.
Well, we don't have to worry about that now. If we get to, since we're not going that direction now.
Yeah, we can figure some. Yeah, it's a problem for tomorrow.
Based on how big the boulder is and how strong Batu is, do I think that maybe someone was expecting that it might have taken more effort than
Oh,
just
yeah.
Batu moving it?
You are
Okay.
pretty sure that they were not planning for someone like Batu.
Okay, so
That was a boulder that like it would have taken a group effort a long time to move.
Mr.
Go ahead.
Mr. Balong, you say that you make this trip once per year,
Yeah.
roughly speaking. And is it always your same group of guards that comes with you?
Yes.
Okay. I think whoever is planning this attack is planning for you and not for us.
Huh. I mean, it's possible, I guess. We should probably get moving, however. I don't think...
Yeah.
This is not a good...
No, they're like I said, this is a trap. They're probably waiting somewhere between here and the bridge. So yeah.
Right? Let's
going to,
pick up the
I'm
pace,
going
I
to
suppose.
I'm
Yeah.
going to join Yuri in being out separated from the caravan.
Okay.
I'm going to like go through the trees.
Okay.
Assuming I'm correct, and they're waiting. We're originally going to jump us on the way back. I'm going to take position at the back of the caravan,
Okay.
so that I assuming I'm right, I'll be the first one they run into.
Not a bad plan, honestly.
Yep. No, that makes it makes a lot of sense. It seems very unlikely they're attacking from the other side of where the boulder was.
Yeah.
Now, once they get past our impassable boulder, we'll be ready for them.
Boss, what does impassable mean? Means they can't
They
get past it.
Past it. Or got past it.
But if they can't get past it, how are we going to get them then from here?
That's the genius of my plan. See,
We come from above. Incidentally, Yuri is hanging around checking, keeping an eye on that area.
Yes. All right, you pick up the pace. The pace is picked up because probably a good idea. So I will say that since you were able to, you are aware there's a potential ambush from behind. You do in fact reach the sanctuary a little ahead of schedule and very tired. But you reach it. The oxen pulling the cart is not happy. But it is led off somewhere for where there is clean, clear water to drink and and it has food provided for it. The denizens of the sanctuary also they immediately recognize Longbao. Master Longbao, it's a pleasure to see you again. You arrived a little earlier in the day than you usually do, and you seem to have some new guards with you. Or are they just fellow travelers? They are travelers we met at the rest stop at the bottom of the mountain. Yes, there was something of an incident on the mountain. Why don't I come tell you about it, and while my guards get stuff put away, and you can discuss things with these other travelers. So because they're here to see Shailin. So they're here to consult with Shailin. But I will discuss the logistics. Yes, these. He points over to. Hang on. 1 second. Just getting a name for this character. Sure. This is Song Bai. She is the person who handles consultations, handles people who wish to consult with Shailin. He's just over to a sort of middle-aged woman with wearing what looks sort of vaguely like she's dressed like sort of fairly well-off handmaiden who like would work for sort of like a high-ranking lady, but she looks like a handmaiden who'd work for a noblewoman, basically, in terms of the way she's dressed.
Got it.
In terms of but like the colors aren't quite as ostentatious as they would be for like a high noble lady's handmaiden. It's a lot more muted. But they are the outfit she's wearing is high quality silk and well made.
This sounds like a perfect opportunity for Xiao to use this imperial etiquette to see if we can get a session in.
You're welcome to speak with her.
Yeah. What was her name again? I already forgot it. I'm so
Song Bai.
bad. Song Bai. Thank you. It's like,
Welcome to the welcome to Shailin's sanctuary. I'm Song Bai. How may I help you?
Song Bai. I am Inspector Zhao of the Imperial Courts. I have come here with my companions for two reasons. One is Umitomi actually visible right now?
For the Oracle, yes. If any of the other caravanners are watching, then okay, jig's up.
They are not currently. They all have other things to do.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. I was gonna say.
Time.
I was gonna say, Zhao motions to Umitomi. My compatriot has a personal question to ask the Oracle. As for myself, I wish to ask a boon of the Oracle and to give us information about a grave threat to the Middle Kingdom.
Fascinating. All right. Yeah, you can give me if you'd like to give me an etiquette roll, you may do so.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a fortune on this.
Sure.
28.
Okay.
Nice.
He is just
And you boxcard it.
You did. It's boxcar success. Well done.
Maybe you didn't need the boxcar after all. Maybe you should have put that in your back pocket with those numbers.
Master Shao went to school with Song Bai or something.
Actually, remember that one time? Remember one time that you nearly died, but I saved your life, and you said that you were honor bound to honor any singular request of mine, no matter how outrageous? Well, I'm still holding that in my back pocket.
Well, you are very fortunate that you've come at a time of year when there are not quite as many people here wishing to see the Oracle. So I'm certain she will be more than happy to see you and your compatriot. In fact, I think I could possibly wrangle if any of you have a question you'd like to ask of the Oracle, you may do so.
Oh, that is wonderful. Thank you very much, Song Bai.
See, she turns to Yuri and says, may I have your name, ma'am?
Umitomi Yuri.
Umitomi Yuri.
I am in pursuit of a given matter. Namely, the Princess of the Emperor.
Interesting. Well, this is more of what you should bring up with the Oracle. I just wished I only need to know your name.
I thought this was the Oracle.
No, it's not the Oracle.
If this isn't the Oracle,
this is Song Bai's basically her secretary.
Yeah. Look, I am here to consult with matters of a personal nature that seem to be spiraling out of what I expected.
Well, I'm sure the Oracle will be of at least some assistance. And Daolu, you mentioned Zhao, Inspector Zhao. Yes. All right.
Yes.
And anyone else, if you wish to, if there's questions you'd like to ask the Oracle, you can let me know later. But I will go consult the Oracle and see when she will be free She will be free and up to doing divinations. If you'll excuse me. In the meantime, she gestures to a couple of them. You two, yes, show them to some rooms and make sure we can get some food ready. And there's also a bath if you'd like to use it. She bows and heads into the main building.
Now just kind of claps his hands. Well, that went swimmingly.
It did.
Yeah.
Well, not yet. We're not in the bath yet, so it's hard to have
Yeah,
a
Lon-
swim. At this point here.
Lon just goes like, "Wait, they're just letting people use the bath? Oh, wow. Okay."
It turns out you are capable of diplomacy. Well, wonders never cease.
Well, it seems to work best when the people I'm speaking with aren't made of stone.
I mean, fair.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Like, anyway, I'm gonna go grab a big plate of General Gao's chicken and get in the bath. I've decided that all of Batu's food is somehow like American Chinese food.
Comes in the little containers every time.
Well,
That material's not even mass produced right now. Where does it
yes.
come from?
you all have you all have time to rest up, clean up, eat food, rest. You are informed that the Shailin, the Oracle, will see you in the morning.
Excellent.
You are given at approximately at 1 hour after sunup. You'll be summoned.
good.
Zhao, you will be she will see you at noon.
He nods. Appreciate. I also want to point out, like, you say her name is Shailin, and I'm pretty sure like
It's Shailin. I'm not pronouncing it properly.
I was gonna say like is she called Shailin because she lives on a mountain?
It's a ZIE.
Yeah.
XIE, sorry. So it's
It was one of those
Or is
things
it
I
Shailin?
couldn't not hear.
Yeah, no,
Like-
I'm not pronouncing it correctly. I always get there's some pronunciations in Chinese I don't get I get very wrong usually.
I am going to try to catch the secretary without anyone around.
Sure.
It's like, hey, if I mean, it's not super important if she's got other stuff going on, but if she's available to answer a question for me, I'd be okay with that.
Ah, indeed. May I have your name, sir?
Batu.
Batu. Very well. She will. I will ask her, and yes, I will let you know if and when she will be able to see you.
Cool. Great. Awesome.
You a little bit later. She is told the Oracle will in fact see you 2 hours after noon. After the sun is at its highest, basically.
I mean,
So
Lon's not going to
she's
turn down
seeing. Let me make sure I'm not missing information here. It sounds to me like she's seeing Yuri first.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So far.
Lon's not going to turn down the chance to ask a magic person who will answer questions.
Sure.
So she will also make an appointment.
I was gonna say, like, maybe you should ask about that sword.
I was
Stitch,
treating it
is there
almost
anything
as a
Dalu would
given.
like to ask? Does Dalu have a question you'd like to ask?
I unfortunately don't really have much that I feel like is really novel to really throw out there. I mean, outside of just asking the same questions about like where are my tools, that's all I can really think of.
I mean, sure. If you would like to, she might be able to provide you some more information.
Sure. Do we want to roll to see how effective the information is then?
I know
Just
that
to
I
hear?
will. I will say, okay, so we'll slot you in. So basically, I'm gonna handle it. Basically, Yuri. So basically, she's basing the divinations roughly off of your. It has to do with your names. But it's gonna go Yuri, Zhao. Olan, Daolu, and then Batu. So, Yuri. It is morning. You are shown in. The Oracle is. She is a. She definitely has the aura. She comes across as much older than she looks. She looks like she's probably maybe in her 30s. But she has this aura of, someone who's been around a very long time.
Right.
Ah. So. Umitori Yuri, a traveler from a distant land. Fascinating. Please, be seated.
A traveler,
Indeed.
she says as she accepts the offer with a gracious bow. It's not often that I'm referred to merely as traveler. Usually it is a more colorful description.
I would imagine. I would not. I'm not surprised to hear that. But, please have some tea. So,
My appreciation.
what is it you would like to ask of me?
What brings us here is we'd had an encounter with an Imperial sorcerer of some respect, and for reasons beyond our control, he met his demise before we could ask questions that we were particularly interested in receiving the answers to.
I see. And you would like me, you'd like to consult his spirit, I take it.
Yes, provided that it was indeed Lord Genbu and not some spirit serving as an impostor. We were advised by Lord Genbu to seek your counsel in consorting with this spirit to divine the answers we seek, or at least the answers that I seek. The others have their own motivations.
Of course, of course. All right. Do you know the sorcerer's name? And do you have any material, anything directly connected to him?
Do I know the name? Is a very interesting question.
Okay. So it had been mentioned, but I don't know if you would remember it.
I, the player, would not.
Right. Okay. You can give me an investigation roll.
Okay.
A detective, I guess, technically. 11. All right. You think the name was Zhao Shi.
All right. Is it inside, like, the binding of the tome?
No, it is not. So you think the name is Zhao Shi, but you do have an item that you have a possession of his, so that will also...
Yeah, the tome, as it turns out.
Yes.
The tome just has all of the previous owners on it, like it's a school book.
I was gonna say like it's a library checkout.
This book belongs to Shai-Shi.
So Zhao Shi and is the name you think it is, and this book belonged to him. You're aware this book is possessed, am I correct?
Oh, I'm aware that it has all kinds of...
Very well. As long as you're aware and take proper precautions, then that is that. I think whatever is possessing it... I shouldn't say possessed. I think there's something trapped in it.
Or
bound
so that's
to
why
it.
it seems so eager.
Be careful with it. However, this should be sufficient. Very well. So she proceeds to do a little ceremony. She sets the book in the middle of the table, lights some incense, rings some bells, and proceeds to perform a lengthy incantation and summoning ritual. And coalescing from the incense swirls up and sort of swirls into a shadowy form of a form that you are both, yes, I'm glad to see this, boy, howdy, I want to ask this asshole some questions, but you're not technically happy to see him.
Yeah.
Who dares summon me? You!
You are not getting away from me so easily just because your incompetent summoning led you to your own demise.
Oh, I will have my revenge on Ang Dao someday, but you, how dare you have me I've been bound here, and it looks like I'm going to have to answer a question before I leave.
Indeed, you find yourself in service to me. So I'm going to ask you questions, and you have to tell me the answers. Shame that you didn't provide me information. You could have lied.
No,
now you have to tell me the truth.
You are correct. I am bound to answer questions 3. Ask away.
Oh boy. 3 questions. I wasn't expecting 3 questions.
It felt appropriate.
Initially, I thought you were only gonna get the 1, and then you got upgraded to 3. So
I know. Now I'm just like, oh, geez. Now I have to actually think about this.
no, you don't. Just let's just burn to them on the things that you didn't have questions for. So how
Well,
you
I don't
doing?
need-
For breakfast 2 weeks
So
ago.
you have to answer 3 of my questions. Yes.
Yeah, so you ask 2 questions, and the third one will be just, dude, the fuck.
When did you decide you were going to suck as much as you do? Was that a childhood choice, or was it something that you came to during your midlife crisis?
All right, let me just organize my thoughts here
Absolutely.
because I will forget things if
That is
I just
fine.
try
That
to
is
stream
fine.
of consciousness this. So obviously, first question is princess.
Okay,
Second question is tome.
sure.
Third question, I feel I can either ask about the court, or I can inquire as to what he was involved with.
Both are options.
Both are options.
Or you could ask what Batu would like best for his birthday.
A vase
fairly
of flowers.
confident it's just like a good dinner or something.
A vase of flowers and a heartfelt card that affirms that both his anarchy and his insecurities about himself are actually valid and should be embraced. Wow, what a terrible present.
All right, so
All right, so the phrasing. So, you are aware that I am in the pursuit of the princess's heart, or at least I am. Perhaps that's not how you perceive it, but you know that I'm after her. So, tell me what you know that will let me achieve that goal.
yes, I'm aware you had some interactions with Her Highness. Very well. You wish for information that would make it easier for you to achieve your goal of. Okay, this is me. This is me, GM asking. Are you asking for like finding her or, sort of getting with her?
More being able to reach her.
Okay, that's
more than anything else, because security details, and apparently it's a known thing that Yuri has had an interaction with her, and
okay.
It seems like the court
It is not.
some respect
It is
doesn't
okay.
like
I'll say this.
that.
It is not widely known, but there are people who do know.
Yeah, and this guy's one of them.
Yes,
Right.
he is. Very well. She is located. She. Last I was aware, and my information is now a little bit out of date. But after the incident you and she you were involved with, the Emperor did not want her to travel too afar, so she is currently staying at the rear palace, where she's being watched over by both the ladies of the rear palace and the eunuch soldiers there.
Rather the strong response, I would say.
The Emperor was displeased. She decided to effectively run away. I think this is intended to be a short-term solution, but
Go ahead.
no, he sort of trails off with the butt.
I see. Well, considering that her very life was in danger, and I should be thanked for that, this seems like quite the ill response. But regardless, that's not what I'm going to inquire further about. That is the information I need to know on that subject. And
Very well. You have 2 more questions.
And I have questions about this tome of yours. And she'll just kind of she's not going to slam it on anything, but she is going to, drop it,
Well, it's actually currently on the table. It's part of the summoning ritual, so.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. In that case, she's just going to give it a good thump.
Okay.
For emphasis.
He sort of He sort of twitches slightly, but doesn't say anything.
So this is clearly a magical tome, bearing a wealth of information.
Indeed.
The good oracle informs me that it seems to be holding something within it, which is an interesting fact to be aware of.
Indeed.
It also seems to have taken a liking to me, which might be related to that other matter. So, seeing as how this is my tome now, I'd like to know what I can about it.
So what is your question in particular, then?
Here's me trying to get him to like say everything without actually being specific.
He seems much more guarded about this than the princess.
Yeah, actually.
I'm just trying to think of like what is the most specific way to phrase this question that can't be weaseled out of.
Like it's less that and more like I'm not like I don't know a lot about it. I kind of just want more general information, honestly.
Okay, if you can ask if any general information is willing to provide, or if you want something specific, you have to ask for something specific. It's sort of where,
Right, yeah.
The more specific, the more accurate information he will give you, basically.
Right. Yeah, like
because he can't lie.
Yeah. Like the creature within it is like, okay, that's worth noting. It's not going to stop me from using it, so I'm not overly concerned about that at the moment.
Okay. So are you trying to get sort of what the tome is in general?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, most tomes don't tend to self-mend,
Right.
even those bearing knowledge of sorcery. That seems a little special.
Yes, very well. I acquired this book from another sorcerer of the court. There is a demon bound to it, a demon of knowledge. And as long as the book is not wholly destroyed, it is the demon's corporeal form now. And the demon's ability to heal itself has passed on to the book. It is a demon that is very knowledgeable about sorcery and is, I believe, the spell that binds it to the book will expire after, I believe the deal was 50 years of providing service to those who possess the book. As long as it willingly provides such a service and does not try to directly inconvenience the possessor of the book, then after the 50 years, it is free and regain its actual corporeal form.
It would be good to know what the remaining time on that is, but I imagine that you'd be trying to get a question out of me if I were to ask that one, and I have more pressing concerns on that front.
Very well.
Seeing as how you seem to have been involved with bandits and demons of all types and stripes, we've been seeing an increase of other supernatural matters that, maybe they're connected to you, maybe they're not. Perhaps you'd be willing to indulge me in what at least some of your plans about all of this are. You weren't doing this for no reason, after all.
You were asking me what my plan was.
Indeed.
Very well. I'm not willing, but I'm forced to answer the question. My plan was very simple: to acquire artifacts of sufficient power to enable me to overthrow the Emperor and take the court for myself. That is no longer possible, since I am dead.
Yeah, shame that.
If Zhao heard this, he'd be like, what was your plan then? Like, you're a eunuch. You can't establish a dynasty.
Why would he doesn't care about a dynasty. He cares about having power now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like
what?
yeah, dynasty is power later for people that aren't you. That's
Yeah,
not appealing for
exactly.
him.
That's true.
Who needs a dynasty while I have all the power and everyone will be dead by the time I'm gone? So
It's not a very complicated plan, but it was my plan. The scroll you stole from me was merely but the first step. Sadly, the following steps are now irrelevant.
So you didn't get very far in your plan then.
Unfortunately, no. That's the question I was willing to answer for free. Very well, I've answered your 3 questions. I am now free to go return to the underworld.
Enjoy
Release
your
me,
stay.
Do not worry, Yuri Umatoshi Yuri. I will have my revenge on you! And he disappears in a puff of smoke.
Once he's gone, I have absolutely nothing to worry about. He didn't get my true name right.
That was me mispronouncing it, sorry.
It's kind of funny.
Maybe, but I like that idea more.
Anywho, the sorceress, the oracle, I hope that was helpful.
Oh, very.
Oh, good.
Very much so.
I would
I
beware of
do
that book,
appreciate it.
but yes, I need to rest before my next divination.
Yes, it seems that it's a tome that is a problem for another day, and for the moment will serve me well.
Very well. I wish you luck with that then.
And I do thank you for your time and expertise.
Indeed, indeed. I'm glad to have been helpful.
And Yuri will poof off to the rafters once more.
Okay. All right.
Doesn't even go to the front door.
Zhao, you're up next.
All right. So Zhao goes, into the thing. He goes, the oracle a nice deep bow. Thank you for making time for all of this.
Oh, indeed.
As
indeed.
As I said to your ranger, there is a great force, conspiring against the Middle Kingdom, and I wish to find information about it. And
Indeed. Please have a seat. Have some tea.
he sits down and gets his tea.
So, Inspector Zhao, I actually a curiosity, a question, if I may ask you one before you ask me yours.
He does. He nods, of course.
You give off the impression of having more than one face.
There's a split second where he kind of like stops drinking the tea, and then he just, it's just a split second. And he drains it real quick.
You hang around with this evil thief, and she's more honest than you are about herself. What up?
Yeah, he's like, it's true that we all have our hidden sides.
Indeed. You do not have to answer the question I'm about to ask. I merely wish to ask it. But do you have another identity that you do not associate with your current one?
He thinks for a moment, and he's a moment like, see, like, is there anybody else here in earshot?
No, there's not.
Yeah, he's saying this moment. It's like, I will not deceive you because you are giving me a great service that will help the Middle Kingdom. It is true that I have an alternate identity.
I appreciate your honesty and for satisfying my curiosity. Very well.
He nods.
You have a question. You have a question to ask me, please.
Yes. As on our way to you, we came across a ruined caravan, whose members were all slaughtered to a man in the most brutal fashion. After an investigation, we trailed the carnage to its source, and it was a tomb of a previous emperor
Hmm.
and his stone sentinels were running the cause of the chaos.
Ah.
I need to know the nature of the force that is compelling these creatures to slay the innocents, and how I can stop them.
Very well. I will see what I can do. She proceeds to light some incense, sets out a small bowl with a bowl with very still water in it that sort of creates a reflective surface. Rings some chimes and proceeds to chant an incantation. Gestures over and she stares into the bowl, and when it becomes absolutely still and flat and perfectly reflective, I see. I understand. It appears what I see is one of Imperial lineage, but not of the current emperor.
Not the current emperor.
No, not of the current emperor's bloodline, but of a different Imperial lineage.
He kind of strokes.
Wielding bearing the seal of a previous emperor, commanding warriors of clay.
I see. It would
And
seem that the previous emperor didn't do a very good job. I mean, the starter of the current dynasty didn't do a very good job at cleaning house.
it would that if my divination is correct, and they always are, that would seem to be the case. Yes. I would beware this man. He is. I cannot. I unfortunately something is interfering with my scrying. I cannot get more specific than that.
A member of the previous Imperial court. That is a difficult investigation, but not an impossible one.
The only other thing I can tell you is he is at least currently at present somewhere within this prefecture. I cannot be more specific than that, unfortunately. Said something is interfering with my scrying. He has some sort of. He appears to have some sort of defensive ward up of some sort. I'm able to get through slightly, but no more than that.
You've still been very helpful to us. Now that we know the nature of his foe and that he is of mortal man, at least it is not an insurmountable problem. I thank you for your service.
I wish you luck in your pursuits.
He gives her a deep bow, and then he exits gracefully.
All right, Olan.
Before she goes to see the oracle, to Jelan. She was sorry. It was
I think it's Jaylon, but I'm not positive. I'll look up the actual pronunciation later. I don't want to do it while we're recording.
Got. Lon is actually going to seek out.
It's Lin, but yeah.
Jaylin, got it.
Yeah.
Lon is going to seek out Yuri.
Okay.
After she has while Zhao is seeing her.
Mm-hmm.
Do I find you first of all?
Oh yes.
Yuri is not concealing her location from the team.
Okay.
So
right.
if you go looking for her, you will find her.
All right. So after a little bit of looking up at ceilings and stuff, you decide.
Yeah.
To find me. Got it. Okay.
Just give a little wave.
So Lana will approach and say, "How did your meeting with the Oracle go?
Excellently.
You got the information that you were looking for then?"
That and more.
Hmm.
Seems that our little sorcerer had designs of ambition. Seems that it was a self-serving one, perhaps a bit of a one-off. If there were
How
any
did
conspirators involved with his little bid, then they were not part of the beneficiary of the scheme, as it were.
Well, I'm glad that you got the information that you saw it. I know that this has been a pressing concern for you for some time.
Indeed.
How did the Oracle go about answering your questions?
The Oracle didn't. The sorcerer did. The Oracle merely facilitated direct speaking.
Oh. Hmm. Okay. Sorry, I suppose I should be happier for you right now. When we first learned of the Oracle, Master Genbu told us of it. He seemed confident that she would be able to answer your questions when he could not.
Indeed.
But when I asked my question, he didn't say something similar. He made it sound like the answer he gave me was all there was to offer.
You are curious of who the sword is to be delivered to, as I recall.
Not curious. It is my duty. It's what I left home for. And if I am not able to find the person it belongs to, then I've left home for no reason.
Miss Lon, might I provide an opinion on your situation?
Of course.
Has it ever occurred that perhaps it is not the destination for your journey that was the whole point? Perhaps it is not that you are meant to deliver the sword. The sword is meant to deliver itself to you when you are worthy.
Well, hang on a second. Just go into here. Just go into here. And we're going to do...
Because think of what we've become involved with. If you think of it in terms of your own personage, you are merely an assistant to a blacksmith, a peasant, an artisan, but a peasant. And yet here you find yourselves amongst imperial officials, those involved with designs upon the court, and so on and so forth. And we're involved, and we've been accosted by renegade imperial officials, revolutionaries. We've assassinated a political figure at this point. That seems to be a bit much for just a peasant, does it not?
Zero.
I like the idea of like trying to describe the other party member. I thought you were about describing the other people in the party, and it was like whatever the hell Dalu is, you know. I
exactly.
still don't know.
She'll throw that in there, and then whatever the hell Daolu is.
The more time I spend around or near him, the less I
Exactly.
understand.
It's like he seems to be he seems to be a common man, a peasant, such as yourself, or so it seems, and yet I struggle to actually believe that, just as I struggle to believe that with yourself, though for differing reasons. Perhaps it is merely my flights of fancy, but I would say that the owner of the sword does not yet exist, but she will by the end of this journey.
Well, Miss Yuri, I thank you for your opinion, especially since you deemed fit to give it to just a peasant.
And she's going to walk off.
Yuri's just going to, grin to herself.
Robon will remember that.
Oh, as if Olad starts dying and Yuri tries to make a man like, why you care? I'm just a peasant, and then just die immediately afterwards.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Bad end.
Olan, you are shown into the Oracle's Oracle's room. Ah, Olan, please have a seat. Have some tea.
She shows up with her arms folded.
Having completely missed the actual point of what Yuri was saying.
Oh no, she didn't miss it. She did not agree with you.
Fair enough.
That's what the first roll was for. I don't have insight as a class skill, so.
So, how may I help you today?
I'm sorry, Madame Gilin. I didn't think that I wasn't prepared for the things that would be troubling me when we previously agreed to meet.
It's all right.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah.
Where does she get off? I have been respectful, kind, welcoming. I treated her as like an older sister I didn't have. And has she just been thinking of me this way the whole time? Just some dirty, lower class person with wild dreams of oh, she wants to do what her father does for a living. How quaint. I've got to go and seduce the princess and have magical adventures with the tome and demons while she mucks about thinking about who she's going to deliver this stupid sword to. How dare she? I'm sorry. Maybe I should go. I'm sorry.
Please, stay seated. Have some tea.
Ah, yes, the therapy oracle.
Is this a question? Does your question have to do with this thing you wish to discuss, or is there something else you would like to ask that you wish to ask?
What's the point? I was just going to ask what I've been trying to find everywhere that I've been.
Mm-hmm.
Where does the sword? Who do I deliver the sword to? That is why I left home. That I have been trying to find this person, and I asked Lord Genbu, a ancient spirit of knowledge, something that apparently he cannot answer. I have to find it for myself. And now I have to deal with someone I thought was my friend saying I'm too stupid to figure it out.
I see.
The camera pans over to Yuri. Oh, she's just like, she completely missed the point.
May I see the sword?
Yes.
Thank you.
She'll carefully take it off and present it to her with both hands outstretched.
Interesting. Well, what I can say immediately is that there's a connection between you and this blade. One forged in battle and from its outset, honestly.
My father made it, of course.
Ah, see. Yes. Well, that would be part of the connection, but there's more to it than that. She sets the sword down on the table. So you were instructed to deliver the sword for whom it was made, the person it was made for. Actually, let me ask you more accurately. What were you specifically told?
I was told that the person who had ordered it,
Mhm.
who had conscripted my father to craft it, was delayed in retrieving it. My father would be away from home for some time after, and so I, in my enthusiasm to assist him, thought that instead of us waiting around with this masterpiece of a weapon that was not being of assistance to anyone, which was simply being lying without fulfilling its purpose, that I would seek out the person that it belonged to.
So this was a journey you chose for yourself then?
Well, yes.
Okay, good.
My father would go on journeys all the time like this.
Ah.
And sometimes he would have time in between crafting blades and he would have to be called upon rather than whatever noble or warrior ordered their weapons could not reach our village themselves, and so he would go to see them.
Ah. Interesting. But he did not tell you for whom the blade was made. And that is what you're looking for, is for whom this blade was to be delivered to.
Yes.
Well, what I can do is I can divine for whom. It sounds like your father is a master swordsmith, and from looking at the blade, even I, who have no real knowledge of the blade, can tell how well crafted it is, and how intentionally, and how it yes. I can attempt to divine. I can try. I can't. I can attempt to divine for whom your father made the sword, but I would need your. Do you have any other? Do you have any items on you other than the blade that have a direct connection to your father?
Ooh, interesting question. I definitely have referenced this before. So she's going to pull out she's going to go into her pack and she's going to pull out some sort of like a hammer.
Okay, a hammer. Okay, cool. That's excellent, actually. All right, Nick. I'm going to ask you an out of character question.
Yeah.
How specific an answer do you actually want?
I don't want the answer.
Okay,
right
good.
now.
I wanted to be sure of that. Okay. Very well. I gotta think. I'm trying to think of how to answer this without, All right.
I'll roll with whatever you give me. Otherwise,
Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna try. I just want to come up with something that feels right. All right. So she does the divination thing. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to connect to your father's intent for the blade. They're using a connection between his hammer, the blade, and the blade here. And I hopefully will be able to give you something a bit more concrete. So she proceeds to cast a divination. And she sort of closes her eyes and says, "Okay." And she's looking. She's got the bowl of water out again, also. I see that this is going to that you will be there will definitively be a lengthy journey for you before you find for whom the blade. So, it's okay. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. It is very odd. I'm having difficulty finding. This would normally be a bit easier for me, but One thing I am reading is that it is your father did not want you to know for whom the blade was made specifically. There is intent for that you were not to know the specifics for whom the blade was meant, at least not yet. That when the time the specifically that when the time was right, you would know for whom the blade was made.
So my father did want me to deliver the blade.
Your father wanted you to make sure the blade ended up in the hands of the person for whom it was intended, yes. But that you were not intended to know who it was immediately. And that and I can see, sort of divining the future, that there will be a journey. There will be challenges and trials, but you will find for whom the blade was meant. And you will be able to you will deliver it into their hands. The blade will be in the hands of the person for whom it is intended at the most at the most important hour.
I see. All right. This isn't something that I can simply ask someone the answer to.
That is what I'm reading. It is the intent is that you are not to know the answer directly.
All right.
I hope that is some help.
Yes.
Good.
This is okay. Oh.
Also,
now I feel bad being mad at my friend.
oh, frustrations like that happen, and you merely vented to someone who was willing to listen. It's not like you shouted at her about it.
I'm generally not like this. I'm so sorry.
It is quite all right. It sounds like you needed to get it off your chest.
I feel strange that you've done this for me and that we've basically not given you anything in return. Is there something I can do for you?
Well, I have a feeling you will be able to provide me a service in the very near future that will be sufficient payment.
Oh, you want us to take care of the guys there? Okay, yeah, okay.
She gives you a little bit of an enigmatic smile.
All right. Oh.
Unless there's anything else, I have to take a short break, and then I've got someone else to see.
We'll bow and thanks, and then she'll depart.
All right. Dalu, you're up next.
I am not sure how much we need to how much.
Yeah, you
detailed
pretty
plan.
much is there if there's anything you would like to like to RP out, cool. If you'd rather just sort of ask where
I would say, yeah, I would say let's just do the off-camera thing of Daolu enters with all their tools in hand and with all their tools in tow and such, but the specifics of what is asked or what the answers are is just
long and short of it
obscure.
is
There's a shot of the door sliding shut.
Sure.
behind
Yeah.
you.
Sure. Yeah. Long story short, you were given information with the location. You're given some information that would indicate that one of your missing tools could be found in the governor's mansion somewhere.
All right then.
All right. If there's nothing else, we can move on to Batu then.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
If that's what you want. All right, Batu, you're up next.
All right,
Batu. Please have a seat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it's
So,
a cushion. It's a cushion on the floor. So
Yeah. So he sort of plops down.
have some tea.
Yeah. Thanks. You got anything stronger?
Yes, but not in immediate reach.
Okay. Okay. I could do this as just tea. Yeah, I can do this. I can do this.
She smiles, nods. So how may I help you today, Batu?
So yeah. Kind of don't like talking about this or thinking about it, but I think I kind of need an answer.
Uh-huh.
So I came down south beyond the wall because, well, I guess it really comes down to I didn't want to get married, but the real thing is I didn't want to get married to this lady who I know is a witch and I'm pretty sure is a cannibal and is the only thing that's ever scared me.
Ah,
Like, I've fought demons. I've watched demons eat people, and the only thing I thought was, gee, maybe you should have cooked him first before I smashed him and sent him back to hell. Like,
aha.
yeah, I fought sorcerers and witches, and just
And
bash
this
their
and
heads
this
in.
woman
That was-
scares you.
This woman really scares me. She's really powerful, and I can't just kill her because that means war, and I can't just say no because that means war. So the only thing I could do was run away, which I've never done before, and I kind of really don't like thinking about that. But I'm kind of wondering if there's a way I can, like, I don't know, end the problem without starting a war.
I see. Well, huh. That is an interesting question. Well, I can attempt to give you a divination. So, you don't happen to have anything that would be directly tied to this woman, do you?
Let Eric think about that for a minute.
Sure.
Because he definitely would have met her at one point. I
Yes.
don't know if he'd think to like grab something.
If not, then I
Cool.
can.
I
could-
didn't stop. He sort of like lifts up his shirt to show like a lurid scar underneath his arm. Does that count?
Did she inflict
Kinda
it?
Yeah, because
I see.
yeah.
All right. In that case, we'll have to rearrange things in here a bit. With that, she gets up and starts moving incense pots around you.
Okay.
All right. She lights the incense pots, stands up, rings the chimes over your head a few times, scooches the cushion up and sets the water bowl in front. It sits at the water bowl. It does some incantation. Eventually, it settles in still, and proceeds to do the full incantation. I see. So you wish to. So what you wish to do is to find some way to avoid marrying her without starting a war.
Yeah.
And I would assume preferably without you dying either.
That's yeah. I kind of don't want to die either. I mean, it's not that I'm afraid of
Yeah, but
dying. I mean, everyone kind of is, but it's got to be like the right kind of death. Like, I don't want to be someone's dinner, or at least I want to put up a good fight first.
I see. Well, the one thing, the path you have chosen is at least buying you time.
Yeah.
I am not seeing a. Honestly, from what I'm seeing, you might have chosen the correct path. Although I'm not sure it
Really?
is a. Well, see, the thing is, and I'm not ecstatic about this. It looks like she is heading south.
Oh, that's great. That'll help me sleep well. That's awesome.
I didn't say.
Um,
It might lead to a possibility of not marrying her and you not dying and not starting a war. However,
oh, right, because then I could kill her. Oh. Oh, but I don't know if I can kill her. She's really strong. I mean, she did that. Nothing hurts me. That hurt me. I gotta think on this. Yeah. Yeah, but I could find out a way to kill her. Yeah. Can you tell me that? Can you tell me how to kill her?
I can't get more detail than that. She has got some fairly powerful ward protection, divination protections.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm counting myself.
Okay,
I understand your concern about her because I'm considering myself
Yeah.
fairly lucky I'm able to get anything off of this.
Yeah.
In fact, she draws her hand
good.
across across the water and breaks the surface engine. Had I maintained the divination any longer, she might have found me.
Oh no, that's not good. Yeah. Yeah. That's no good.
Oh dear.
Okay. Thanks, that's a big help. Now I know I can find a way to kill her without starting a war. That's good. She's past the wall. Nothing down here matters. Great. Okay. I mean, not up north. Like you know what
to
I
your
mean.
people,
Sorry,
yes.
I didn't mean to insult you.
No. I understand what you meant. You meant for the people, your people back home.
Yeah,
It does not matter politically.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. I'm not so good with words sometimes.
It is quite all right. Oh dear.
Nah, she's not gonna be a problem for you because now I know I'm allowed to kill her, which means I need to find a way to kill her. But I'll figure it out before she becomes a problem for you. I promise. Or I'll be dead and it won't matter. Well, it won't matter to me. You understand?
I do. Well, I wish you luck because I think you're going to need some of it.
Yeah. Thanks. This is terrifying, but also like in a good way. So, yeah. Thanks.
All right. We are done with the divinations. And that's kind of all I got.
Now I have something to ask Lord Gambu.
True, you do.
How do I kill a cannibal witch?
I mean,
Same way you kill everything else.
Hit it on the head really hard. Gotcha.
Has that thief of yours figured out lightning yet? No?
I mean, it's like the other option is you could just marry her, but just be so unappealing of a spouse that she distances herself from you out of embarrassment, thereby avoiding the war.
I'd have to go to Korea for lots and lots of kimchi to eat. That sounds like a good plan. Let's go to Korea. There'll be kimchi. Kimchi's
What's
delicious.
Korea?
all right.
So
yeah.
You said that's all like the established
That's
stuff
all.
you
That's
have?
sort of that's all the establishing stuff I've got established for today. There's stuff I want to do, but it will have to be next session.
Okay.
If there's anything you want to do, sort of RP wise, cool. But otherwise, I'm sort of
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
yeah.
So, crawling along the rafters as Olan leaves the chamber, totally not having been listening against the wall, Yuri is just going to kind of... Actually, she's going to hang down upside down, like by her knees, and look to Olan. So, do you see what I'm getting at yet?
Lon looks up at Yuri and she kind of gives her one of those kind of like, I'm not as mad at you as I was, but I'm still not happy with you looks. Which probably doesn't look very probably doesn't look exactly intimidating on her face, you know. She's like, and she is going to say, the fact that you think highly enough of me that you believe that I would be worthy of a weapon like this is a very great compliment. I think you have no idea what you're talking about, but I will try to take it as that. That being said, the way that you went about talking about it, it felt like you dismissed the life that I've been preparing for. And I did not appreciate that. You were rude to me. And that's...
I suppose I can see how it came to seem that way. Was not my intent. Let's put it this way. Everyone has humble beginnings. No one is
No,
a
no,
legend
no,
at
no,
their
no, no, no,
outset.
no, 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 no. Stop it. Stop right there. Humble beginnings. You don't think much of where I came from.
That's not what I'm talking about, honey.
Well, that's what it sounds like.
You were a child once, were you not?
Yes.
Well, so was everyone. Everyone starts somewhere. Even the Emperor was once a babe.
I don't understand what you're trying to say now.
Let's put it this way. I acquire fine arts and other such things. And who makes fine arts? Artisans. Jewel crafters, painters, sculptors, smiths. Do you think I hold any disrespect for those who are able to create works of art and wealth and power?
No.
Then why would I be insulting you in such a manner?
You said you called me a peasant. And said I was meant for more than that life.
Are you a smith yet?
No.
Well, there you are.
I don't
Either
understand
you
you
will be a
sometimes.
great smith or you will be a great warrior. Perhaps both. Who can say? You'll get
So
there, is the point.
this really feels like you're saying something different from what you were telling me before. Actually, hang on a sec. I'm going to make another roll here.
Do that melodrama roll.
Actually,
That's
they
not how
might as
that
well
works.
be. I think that's probably appropriate. Hang on.
Come on, roll like a negative failure so we can have PvP.
Oh, that's not a great roll.
That's not a good roll.
Monsieur, you know what I think?
Hmm.
I think that you think you've got everything figured out in terms of how the world is. I think that there are certain mysteries you're trying to solve for yourself, and sometimes you're not willing to admit that you don't know everything about everyone. I don't know what your life has been like, mostly because you don't ever talk to me about things that make you feel vulnerable. And I think that you're trying to approach your relationship with me as if you're the one who knows everything and I'm a little kid who doesn't, who needs to
Hmm.
figure out the way you see the world.
Hmm. Well, perhaps you have some wisdom in your words. As for never speaking of my own past and my own perceptions of vulnerability and whatnot, condescending as it sounds, that is somewhat for your own protection. It's the kind of thing that you're not supposed to talk about, the kind of thing that you get erased for, the kind of thing you get hunted for. That's why I don't tend to leave a trail of information for people to follow, because I would rather that, one, if there's any bleeding corpses in my wake, I'd rather be responsible for them myself directly than because of my carelessness, if that makes sense. But I can say this: I had instructors. I failed them. You have an instructor in your father. You've not failed him. I hope for your success. And with that, Yuri is going to make herself scarce.
Lon's going to have like tried to like suss out how to answer Yuri and continue the conversation, and then she's gone, and so she's like,
This conversation's not over, you know. And I know you can still hear me. I hope you understand I'm still mad at you. And I hope that means something to you.
and then she'll head off and go about the rest of her day.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Not long after, Batu kicks open the door in a room where everyone's gathered. It's like, good, you're all here. We're gonna kill a witch.
Wait, what?
What?
What did Yuri do to you?
You said you want to dig a ditch? Okay.
Probably gonna
Well,
go
like
with
after we kill a witch.
Thankfully, the shovel I used earlier did not get rusted from the cooking process, so we're
we
all
need to
set
sharpen the
there.
edge of that because I'm pretty sure that might hurt a witch. Because like I said, we're gonna need to kill a witch.
Oh, I'm not interested in that at all. I'm
Come
gonna.
on! No, it's just I got someone from my past who the Oracle told me is now south of the wall, and we're gonna kill her because he's bad and wants to eat people.
I keep getting involved with a lot of other people's arch enemies.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Josh is drinking his tea. Don't worry, you'll have one of your own very soon.
Or alternatively, you can go my route and just not have an arch enemy. It's actually kind of relieving to have that.
It's been
Yeah, I imagine it
it's
sounds
been
nice.
working out. It's been working out well for me thus far. Yeah.
Yeah. So as they stay
Yeah,
the
but don't
course.
you have that like guy you're supposed to like kill with the sword? Isn't that your
What?
whole bang?
No.
No,
No, what?
No.
Batu, you never listen to me.
Sorry, sorry. I am sorry. So who were you supposed to kill with the sword?
I'm not supposed to kill anyone with the sword, Batu. I'm supposed to.
You've not been doing a very good job of not doing that.
I accept your apology, I guess.
I like how both of the outsiders are trying to be encouraging and being the worst about it.
Olan, I got a question for you.
Yes.
What is your favorite meal?
Oh. Well, my mother sometimes makes this very
Say Kung Pao chicken. I've been craving it.
I like how this one simple question just ruins the whole tone for some reason.
She's gonna be like
Ulan just goes into like a whole like Facebook recipe story.
she starts speaking like really softly.
Even better.
Olan can only describe the recipe in the family tongue of ASMR.
This is that moment in Ratatouille. She just has that flashback, thinking about her mom.
But it's like some really, really stereotypical Chinese American food. It wasn't invented until, like a Chinese immigrant showed up in the US.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah. Trying to think of like the funniest version of that to reference now. Like egg rolls or something.
Yeah. Which, by the way, immigration based food is fascinating.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
it is its own culture and stuff. But yeah, just the idea of this continuing thread of like we eat food out of Chinese takeout boxes in second century China. Oh, my mother used to make these things called fortune cookies for us.
Very good, very good. All right. Well, irrespective of what Olad says, Dao Wu is going to be like, all right, well, there's a chance I know how to make that. If not, I will do my best to make something for you.
Oh my gosh. Uh,
I want to apologize to all of our Chinese listeners for our very anachronistic movie version of China.
yeah. All right.
I mean, we're playing Feng Shui. That would already be an indication of that.
Yeah, though, yeah. All right. Anything else, or should I get to the end of episode cliffhanger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So it is getting on to where you guys are all getting ready to go to bed after a nice meal, all that stuff. The sun is set. The sun is set. There's still a little bit of light in the sky, etc. When you hear the sounds, you hear the sounds of some people moving through the woods. Like you're hearing war cries from the woods, basically coming towards the sanctuary, and the sanctuary is under attack. Dun dun dun.
Oh boy.
Who the hell didn't see this coming? Raise your hands.
You should
Oh
see
shit! Did she find me already?
not wrong type of organ. Definitely not
Oh,
mongoose.
that would be impressive.
Just Mongol warriors got their horses up to the top of the mountain.
I mean, it's possible, but like, no. All right, that's gonna wrap this session up. We'll be starting next session with next session there'll be a big fight, a fight of some sort. Whether it'll be a big fight or whether you guys will curb stomp it, I don't know. We'll find out.
You know what? Maybe we can be the one that's curb stomped.
I mean, it's possible. It's theoretically possible. I mean, I could just throw people with huge action values and defense at you and just squish you.
I think you just need to roll the dice against Nick, and that will work.
Yeah, evidently,
Just
Wyrot has become the subject of the apocalypse dice victimization this time.
But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode, folks. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back not next week, but maybe the week after that. We'll see. But until we see y'all next, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone.
Bye.